Most people think they're the main character, and this bias makes them think they're living through an incredibly special time where something huge is going to happen to them. Just like people thought that communism was going to create a global utopia in the 1920s, or where boomers thought the entire world was going to end in a nuclear war in the 1960s and 70s, and how people thought that the dot-com boom was going to create this completely new reality, and how people today think that AGI and the singularity are going to turn the world into some, crazy whatever. This bias makes people think that they're living through some incredibly cinematic time, and where they're going to play some big role or something. And people have this bias because you're conscious and you only know your own life and your own body. So there's like an inherent bias towards seeing yourself as in some sort of special light. Combine that with the culture of cinema over the last 100 years, and it leads to, I'd say, some pretty bad biases in a lot of people. The reality is things are weird and interesting on a long time horizon, right? If you look at the amount of change that's happened over the last 30 years or the last 300 years, things are moving fast. But at the scale of your own life, at the moment you're living, it's much more likely that, things are going to be pretty mundane and pretty normal. It also means that a lot of common knowledge, a lot of things that people normally take for granted, is probably mostly accurate. There isn't some, giant shadow conspiracy where the entire world is, fake, which is basically Gnosticism. It's more likely that we kind of know the fundamentals of how things are going on, I'd say. Doesn't mean that there's no big giant fraud that's going on that we don't know about, or psyops that are happening. No, it just means that the entire world isn't a psyop. The entire world isn't some conspiracy. So a good bet is to bet that the time you're living in is normal, and that the world isn't going to end tomorrow, and to buy stock in Gnostic LLC. But also be aware of the fact that people are irrational and make decisions based on this bias, which could be fueling stuff like the AGI bubble that we're in. So think about it.